This is my space. This is my craft. This is Modern Roots Kitchen. What's up and que onda, everybody? Welcome back to the Modern Roots Kitchen channel. I am your host, Chef Danny Davila. This is my wife, Cynthia Aleman, and today we're gonna be making
Queso Flameado, mac and cheese.
So I'm gonna go ahead and throw a little bit of extra virgin olive oil into a large sauce pot and or Dutch oven because we're gonna start our cheese sauce for our mac and cheese. So babe, if you can go ahead and hand me those Serrano chilies right there.
This one's right here.
Yes, these are picoso. They are chiquito pero picoso, as they say. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw those in. We're gonna saute it. It's gonna infuse our oil with that chile spice. We also have some pickled jalapeño rajas that I diced up. So I'm gonna put those in. It's gonna bring a little bit of vibrance to our rich cheese sauce. So I'm just gonna saute these for a little bit. Just get those flavors extracted into the oil, and it's gonna perfume our whole cheese sauce. It's gonna be lit. Okay, so our chilies are getting hot. It's perfuming my nose.
Yeah, I can smell it.
I don't know how you're feeling, but it's really getting at my sinuses. So we're gonna go ahead and add our liquids. So if you can hand me that heavy whipping cream right there. This is gonna be the base of our sauce. We're just gonna pour that in. And again, those chiles are really gonna perfume all that cream.
So do you pour the whole?
Yeah, the whole, what is this, a pint?
Okay.
A pint of crema extra grasa para batir.
It's just heavy cream, right?
Heavy cream for our Spanish speaking audience. So we're just gonna I wanna get all those chili flavors perfumed into the liquid, that way it evenly disperses into the sauce.
Okay.
And then into our mac and cheese, so that every bite you take has a little bit of pica to it. So I'm gonna let that come up because our cream was cold, so that has to come up a little bit. So in the meantime, we're gonna add some of our Crema Mexicana. How do you say that?
La vaquita?
What she said. So
Just means little cow.
our little cow Crema Mexicana is gonna go straight in. And it's a little thick, so you gotta work with it.
Thick.
It's a little thick. It's basically like a sour cream, but
Thick
like
with a double
Mexicana.
C.
It's thick with a double C. So I think I got just about all of it.
So it was the whole thing for this one and the whole thing for that one,
Yes.
right? Okay.
So how much is this? This is 8 ounces, so half of a pint, I believe. So a full pint and a half pint Crema Mexicana. And then I'm also gonna add another half pint of of water. Words are hard. So I'm gonna add a little bit of water. That way our sauce isn't too thick and you end up with like a clumpy mac and cheese. You want it nice and really like that Queso Flameado vibe. Very melty, very cheesy, very creamy. So I'm just letting the cream come up to temperature, letting those chilies really infuse to that cream. So it's gonna be like a Serrano infused crema, which is gonna be the base of our macaroni and cheese. So to that, I have my secret ingredient. Can you tell me what this is? Can you give it a guess?
It is cream cheese.
It's cream cheese.
It is. I know my jalapenos and cream cheese.
It's cream cheese with jalapeno. So this is just a little bit of cream cheese. It's gonna make it super creamy, and then it's gonna give it that thing where people are like trying to figure out what the heck you put in it because it's so creamy, and you have that.
So this is just to give it like that creaminess
Yes.
to the mac and cheese?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have our Serrano. They're our fresh Serranos, And then we have our pickled jalapeños. So this is gonna add that like raw jalapeno flavor to it.
Okay.
And then a lot of creaminess.
So 3 jalapenos, right? The Serrano.
Yeah,
Well, not jalapenos, but 3.
Yeah, so it was one Serrano chile, the pickled jalapeno,
And now the fresh.
and now the fresh
Okay.
with the cream cheese. So I'm gonna incorporate that, and it's also gonna help our cream sauce to not separate.
Can I start?
So do you know what it means for a cream sauce to separate?
Do I know what it means?
Yeah, like why you don't want your sauce to separate and what that means.
I mean, no, not really, I guess.
So it just means that the fat and the water, because obviously oil and water don't mix at all.
Yeah.
So the fat is gonna separate from your liquids, and then you're gonna end up with like a 2-part sauce. So you ever get like an Alfredo sauce and they put butter in it and the butter separates, and then so you have like clumps of cream and then you have like grease. That's what we don't want.
Okay.
So this is gonna kind of help emulsify the sauce to where it's a cohesive, what's the word? Mono something? Homogenized sauce. So it's gonna be just creamy, no grease. So that's gonna add that. And then to that, I'm just gonna add a little bit of salt.
I just keep stirring it.
Yep. And then while you do that, I'm gonna go ahead and add our queso Oaxaca. So in a previous episode, I used this on our asada fries for our air fryer episode. So as I said there, this is just a melting cheese from Oaxaca, Mexico. It's very similar to like a mozzarella string cheese. You ever get those little string
Yeah.
cheese?
Does it come in the packet?
See, so you can pull it like into little strands, and it's perfect for melting. So I prefer it over mozzarella. It has a little bit more flavor, a little more body to it.
So can you do this with the mozzarella cheese?
You can totally use mozzarella if you want to.
Okay.
You can even use like Monterey Jack. You can use cheddar. You just won't have that authentic white cheese to your mac and cheese. But you can really substitute. You can use American if you want to, white American. But today we're going to be using queso Oaxaca. So as you stir that, I'm just going to go ahead and put in. And this is also going to, of course, thicken up our sauce and prevent it from splitting or separating. So I'm just going to slowly add this. Cool, so we got just about as much cheese as we want to add. The super easy thing about this is that all you got to do is keep adding cheese until it's the right consistency. So what you're looking for is similar to like an Elmer's glue or something like that. So you just want to be able to pick it up and it just kind of waterfalls off, or it's not too thick. You don't want to have like a real pasty macaroni and cheese. You want it nice and creamy.
So is this good enough, or like, is this the consistency you're looking for?
I think if we add just a little bit more cheese, it'll be perfect where it's not just like running like a ranch dressing all over the place.
Okay, so a little bit thicker.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit thicker. So I got just a few more strands and we should be at the perfect consistency. So I think we got the consistency just about right. What do you think?
I think the consistency looks good.
Nice and runny, but not too runny?
Yeah. Do you want me to taste it?
Yeah, you can go ahead and taste it and see if we need to add salt or anything like that. It should be good, but
Oh yeah, that's good.
it's good, right?
Yeah, it's good.
You
And
have
it has like that kick to
just
it.
a little
so.
bit of that chili to it.
I like it.
So that's what happened when we sauteed those raw Serrano peppers, and it really got into that cream, and it's gonna perfume your whole sauce. So that's what it means. So you have that flavor throughout it, and it's not overbearing. Okay, so just a tip in case your consistency is not right. Let's say it's too thick, you're gonna add more liquid to it, right? And vice versa, if your sauce ends up too thin, maybe you didn't have enough cheese, I'm gonna show you guys a little hack. So all you have to do is make yourself what is called a roux in the cooking world, which is basically just equal parts fat and flour. So you're gonna bake what's almost basically like a bread or a pasta that you're gonna emulsify into your sauce, and it's gonna thicken it back up. So that's a good little tip to have. So we're just gonna try and get equal parts. I'm using olive oil for this and some straight up flour. Now make sure when you're doing this, you do not want to have that raw flour taste. So what you want to do is you want to really incorporate it, and you want to cook it until it makes like a popcorn taste, a popcorn smell. It's gonna smell like cooked popcorn, and that's how you're gonna know that your roux is ready. Also by the color and the consistency, once it gets to like a light peanut butter color and consistency, you're gonna know that your roux is ready. Also, another side note, when you're adding this to your sauce, the way you're gonna make it not clump up and really emulsify into the sauce is you have to have a temperature difference. So let's say your sauce is boiling hot, you're gonna wanna add a cold roux. And vice versa, if the sauce is cold, you're gonna wanna add a hot roux. So our cheese sauce is currently really hot, so we're gonna go ahead and make this roux, and then we're gonna cool it down a little bit before we add it to our sauce. And that's gonna ensure that it really makes the perfect consistency. Also, another tip, if you happen to not have flour but you have cornstarch, all you have to do is make a little slurry. So you can grab your cornstarch and mix it with a little bit of water just to make it liquid. And then if you add that to your sauce, that's gonna thicken up twice as much as this flour roux. And all you have to do for that is mix them together and some warm water, add that to your sauce, bring it up to a boil, and it's gonna thicken. So we're doing the old school way, and we're just using fat and flour. If you were to make something like gumbo or certain sauces, you can take this roux and you can cook it until it's past the peanut butter color to where it's almost like a milk chocolate color, and that will be a perfect base for a gumbo because you're really going to intensify that nutty flavor from the flour and the fat. Just a little tip. So like I said, you want that temperature difference when you're adding your roux to your sauce so that it makes a nice consistency. So I went ahead and threw mine in the fridge just for a little bit to cool it down. So it's a little bit cooled down. So all I'm gonna do is add it to our sauce, and we're gonna bring it up to just a short boil, and it's gonna thicken up a bit.
Oh, it's thick, alright.
Alright babe, so if you want to go ahead and add our macaroni noodles to our boiling water, it's up to a nice vigorous boil. And then while you do that, I'm going to add a nice big pinch of some good kosher salt. You always got to remember to season your water because that's what's going to season your pasta. So 2 big pinches. Alright, so I'm just gonna check on our pasta. What you're looking for is to just be like slightly undercooked, which to the Italians is called al dente. So you just want like a little bit of toothfeel to it, because you got to remember we're gonna bake it with our sauce and it's gonna continue to cook a little bit. So right there we're like perfect al dente. It's like not raw in the middle, but just a little bit of toothiness. So we're gonna go ahead and drain it. Cool. So all we gotta do now, we have our sauce, we have our al dente noodles. All we gotta do is combine them. So babe, if you would do the honors of adding our macaroni noodles to our sauce.
You're putting all of it, right?
All of it. Cool.
Mix it?
Yeah, no, we're just incorporating together. A few strikers. Alright, so we mixed our macaroni into our sauce. It's absolutely perfect.
It looks good.
Thank you. So we're just gonna go ahead and pour it into a casserole dish, cast iron pan, whatever you want to serve it in. So here we got just a clear Pyrex casserole pan. So if you want to go ahead and pour that into it. This is a cast iron Dutch oven, so it is pretty heavy. Oh my goodness.
Now I'm gonna come to this side.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I'll just do it this way.
Okay. Yeah, we can go ahead and add all that. That's perfect. So all that's left to do now is to grab our casserole dish full of our delicious Queso Flameado macaroni and cheese, and we're gonna throw it into a 350 degree oven for about 10 minutes or until it gets brown on top.
Fine.
I'll go ahead and get the door for you, my lady. Beautiful. And through the magic of television, we have one prepared already within a cast iron skillet. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that.
Okay, so we're gonna cook some chorizo with mushrooms, and we're gonna go ahead and cook it, and we want it to be nice and crispy, so we're gonna go ahead and leave it here for a little bit.
Yeah, we're just gonna saute that down. This is a classic topping for queso flameado that you can find in any taqueria or Mexican restaurant, especially here in San Antonio, Texas, where we're from. So you don't have to put mushrooms if you don't like it. I just really like the earthy flavor that it gets with the cheese. It's almost like having a truffle mac and cheese or something like that. So Cynthia's just gonna go ahead and cook it down until it's nice and crispy. You're gonna render all that fat and delicious flavor. So don't be afraid to cook it on a high heat. Don't be afraid to get it stuck a little bit to the pan. What it's called when those particles of the meat get stuck to the pan is called fond. And what you can do, those are like really intense flavorful bits. So you can deglaze with liquid, or you can just straight up scrape them off if your pan is right. So you just find the little stuck points, like right in here, and you can kind of scrape it, and those are gonna really intensify the flavor of the chorizo topping. Okay, so what we're gonna do, the reason it's called Queso Flameado is because you ignite it when you present it to the table. So you grab a little bit of liquor. Right here we have some basic tequila, and I'm gonna go ahead and try and pour this on top and light it as a beautiful little presentation. So you can do this in front of your family and friends. Just be very careful and do not get like a little too crazy, you know? So go ahead and pour the tequila on, and then try and immediately light it. And we pray that it lights, and there it goes. You can show off to your family and friends. Cool, so we went ahead and lit our mac and cheese on fire.
Lit.
It's lit. All that does basically is just cook the alcohol flavor off of it and leave a nice little flavor to the mac and cheese. So we're gonna go ahead and taste it.
I'm so excited to try it.
Yeah,
I haven't had a cheat meal in like a month, so
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
This looks freaking amazing. Can't wait to get into it.
So it's really hot.
Yeah, so if you get in there, you get like all that melty cheese. God damn. Ready?
Hot it is, yes. I'm gonna burn my mouth. It's worth it though. So creamy. It's really, really creamy. And the chorizo, it just adds like that enough like fatness.
Oh my god. I get
Delicious.
a little bit of the pica from the Serrano. I hadn't tasted this.
Yeah, I can taste the jalapeno.
Yeah.
The jalapeno.
It's in there.
Taste it in too.
Oh my god, that's good.
I'm gonna go in again.
Yeah.
Trying to get some chorizo. Too.
Oh, the crispy edges. Oh no, my god. I swear. If you have like a potluck at a school or a Thanksgiving dinner or like just dinner at the house.
Imagine being that cool mom bringing
Like you show up to
mac
this
and cheese.
at an elementary school potluck. Can you imagine?
Delicious.
You'll be the favorite parent of anybody. Make this for your family.
Delicious. I would rate it 1 out of 10. What do you think?
I give it a 10 out of 10.
Yes, 10. Definitely a 10. The chorizo is perfect. It's enough creaminess. So good.
Delicious, guys. The wife approves.
I do.
So god dang, that was one of the most delicious things I've ever had. I really recommend that you try it. What do you think, babe?
It was delicious. Definitely a 10.
Freaking amazing. I'm so glad to have my wife Cynthia Aleman on the video today. If you haven't checked out the last episode, we did a mystery box episode. Go back and check that out. It was a super interesting video. Check out all the prior videos. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. There's plenty of more amazing recipes coming at you. So make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell.
Ding, ding, ding.